This is a solo. Well, we gave them.
I'm not saying
Because I was reading.
Well, they,
But like I said,
you build,
stuff that's everyone here, I can't hear anything, so.
sign language.
Yeah. And everybody whispers.
close.
Well, Michael
So does all those drawings were okay?
Oh, yes.
We'll go with that. We got
Well, I
seven.
don't think I want to fix it.
I'm sure they're talking about something important. For all this, just a learning.
Well, I did, I got your last email about that I'd done something wrong, I'll fix that. Or maybe it was an old one, something about the elevator.
Oh, no, just, don't do anything.
Don't do anything.
Don't do anything until I tell you, unless I ask you.
Oh, okay.
I think
I
we're,
did their
I think we're
police
focusing.
drawings for them. Then he paid me, which was,
that is good.
You amortize that over all the favors you've done us.
oh,
You're working for about, what, half a cent an hour?
yeah.
Where's your four?
Oh,
All right, so that, okay.
yeah, I worked you.
There's Michael.
Sure.
And Seth.
What's a new face?
I just finished my part.
Well, now we have to, when we call the meeting to order.
I keep up with everything, but when I lost, when I
Call the meeting.
This is where we do the welcome and
I lost
introductions.
that spreadsheet.
Starting with Barbara.
Yeah, I lost that.
Well, I don't think that'll be necessary today, there are no new faces here today. So I'm moving straight to the executive committee. We'll see how the meeting goes, but I anticipate this will not be a lengthy. The executive committee has been primarily trying to fulfill the duties that we took on under the management agreement, which some days goes better than others. We sent, everybody saw the invoices that we sent for July and August. We got a response back on that within the last hour, which I haven't had a chance to digest. Charlie had
And I have
something
not
on.
either.
Mike, have you seen that?
I think I've got maybe some comments I can cover in the finance report.
Okay. Well, I think what we need to do with that is just, it's very specific, is meet and go over and put together some kind of response. Basically the due date of October 15 on the thing, and it's not there yet, so, this will give us time to go into the way to get all that done. So that's where we'd like to leave that, where I'd like to leave that, unless somebody has comments about that part of the process. Those of you who've been working on it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Otherwise, we're just trying to keep the lid on things. That's the executive committee report.
Let me see.
This is a heavy lid.
Yes, it is a very heavy. Actually, it's a very light lid. That's the problem. I think it jiggers and steam gets out.
It flutters.
Yeah, right. Oh, there was a nice event here. The Episcopal Life Services had a full house event the other night, and when I kept looking around, and I pulled Mark's Hunt aside and I'd say, "Look, the roof is not falling in." Yeah. He said, "Really? No."
Not on a bunch of lawyers.
Yeah.
There's
So
liability there.
I thought the building looked good. Were you there?
No.
Anyway, I thought the facility worked very nicely for a very, very big event. So that was good. I was glad
And
to
all
see it.
proper permits were filed.
Good, even better. Anybody else from the executive committee have anything they want to share?
The one thing, I think many people know this, but I think it's worth kind of formally explaining it. But so the executive committee in this interim phase is trying to work through the details and keep things running. Have we formally hired Worley and Associates to help do the bookkeeping?
No, David,
No?
David worked.
So we formally hired David Worley and kind of his team to help with the bookkeeping. And they have actually, so with the executive committee's knowledge and approval, Heather. So Heather is here on kind of an hourly basis as needed to help us uncover and figure out some things to make sure we keep the lights on, the doors are unlocked and everything else. And I think it's appropriate that everyone knows that to the extent Heather is seen around the building, she is helping with the executive committee and working through this transition phase. That's kind of one thing that should be in there.
Yeah, that's right. Thoughts, comments, is that okay?
Sounds very logical to me.
It took us about 30 seconds to realize we couldn't do it without,
Well, we actually got that advice from,
from the accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right. Right.
Well, and just looking at that office in there, it's like, who knew what was where, only one person.
Well, the report I want is from the transition committee. Can we get, you guys to tell us where your things are and what we can expect?
if you're looking for me, we haven't had a meeting that I've attended since the last board meeting, so I have nothing to report, but John or Vicki or somebody, if y'all have had any kind of meeting, you want to have anything to report?
No, we haven't had any
Okay.
meetings because we've all been out of town at various points.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, you have?
No, you were there.
No,
Before Hardy went away, before you went out of town, before Hardy went away, you were there, Hardy was there, Vicky was there.
oh, that one.
Well, that's since the last board meeting.
Oh, okay.
They've been at least one, maybe two, but
Right.
I don't have my calendar with me, so.
I
can't
think it was
actually-
just that, I think it was just that one. but-
Yeah. So I wasn't at the last board meeting. I knew I missed something.
That was it. Yeah, so Pam had gotten some things accomplished, and I think that's one of, we're just, we're trying to relieve you of
That's the-
stress
that's what I'm
and
asking
anxiety.
about,
So,
yeah.
yeah, we're trying to
The
move
details of it.
quickly. Yeah, well, we could give you the details.
No, I don't want the details. I don't
But
have anything to
you
say about the
need them.
details.
No, I think we're moving as quickly as we can. We want to get this done. I want to get this done because, we have the Colburn has a lot of things that we have to be doing besides being in meetings to figure out how the building's going to be moving. So I think we're looking at a pretty fast deadline to get that stuff out. John, you think?
Are you still on track for November 1, you think?
I certainly hope so.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like it to be sooner.
That's only 3 weeks from now.
Well, we've been having trouble getting people to the table with everybody's travel schedules, but we've done a lot of, spoken to attorneys, spoken to management companies, have ideas, shouldn't be, we're hoping it's not really complicated, we can just reach an agreement and go forward.
Hardy's going to be back next week.
I've asked Lynn to, since you guys asked me to be the convener, I've asked Lynn if she and David would convene.
Because you're out of town, right?
As soon as Hardy was back, because I'm out of town, Lynn and David and you guys can forge ahead. I think I've provided to the group everything that I've been asked for, RFP and proposals and some legal opinions.
We all keep leaving town, we keep coming back.
I understand believing, I don't understand sometimes.
Well, we're still operating on our end with November 1 in mind. So, and day-to-day, there are decisions sometimes that have to be made about, well, is this good for a couple of weeks or is this a 3-month out kind of thing? So the closer we get to the end, the more that'll come up.
One thing that does concern us is apparently under the phone system, there's a 90-day notice required to shift it over, and it's not, as I understand it, and maybe somebody who has more knowledge than I do can get into it, but as I understand it, it's not just calling them up and say, change the name of the building. Certain mechanical or, porting and all this has to be done, and it really does take 90 days. So that needs to be factored into the work of the committee.
Would each tenant have their own phone system and their own phone bill?
Well, yeah, I can't answer that, because that's
Part of what
certainly,
y'all are talking about,
Yeah.
okay. That's
but
fine.
that certainly, definitely means, it's gonna take full 90 days.
Well,
Which is,
that's what
by,
we're-
if we're supposed to be, have that transferred by the 1st of January, then we're already behind?
Well, I think the thing that's the drop dead date for the 1st of January is the county and the electric utility and gas, if gas is on there, I'm not sure. I don't think that would apply to the phone system, so there's probably some time frame. But
Okay.
yeah, because I don't think the county has been paying the phone system.
No,
Yeah.
we pay our guys. Would it be possible to see that contract? It's still with the ministry?
Yeah, as far as I know it is,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we can.
Yeah.
Come up with
Get
that,
that contract,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that if we could see all of the contracts as we've been asking for, we could start taking those on immediately.
Sure.
But I think the point is that, and there, I'm sure there'll be other issues like this
Yeah.
as well, that, it kind of places out of the building, so to speak, on November 1, there may be 60, 90 days worth of contract waiting period and stuff. We'll just have to sort that out. I don't think that'll be hard, but we don't want to do it any later than it has to be done.
And then just one more comment on the phone system from someone who doesn't know phone system. My understanding is there's kind of a core or a backbone of the phone system that somehow, under Pac Place's name, and Pac Place is covering that cost. And then each of the partners is covering their unique phone services for their numbers. So it's not just the numbers, it's the backbone somehow needs to go somewhere and something needs to be done with itself.
Well, that's why we need to take a look at the contracts, and probably meet with the representative from the phone company.
Okay.
And, well, and then I guess the other comment, to the extent the transition committee or family member, y'all have a list of contracts, and if it's, if it's a tenants association, if it's a city, give us the list, and we'll find them and put them in a box and give them to you. So I don't think that's, let us know what you need, and we'll try to get them to you.
Well,
Well, I
is
think-
it easy enough to just say we need everything? We need everything. We need
Right.
all the contracts with outside suppliers and the
Yeah,
name,
and I
and the
think
name of the primary
and-
contact person.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that probably should be sufficient.
Yeah, all right. That won't be hard. It's more a matter of just kind of thinking about what are all the contracts, like the elevator inspection contract, and all those, but anyway, yeah, that's doable. Anything else from transition? Good.
Good. So two questions. One is, what leases are signed? I've heard that Colburn has a lease signed with the city.
We haven't had a lease since August 1st.
So you have a signed lease. And does the theater have a signed lease right now? And does the art museum have a signed lease? So and then the question of the utilities and the county's desire to have the utilities transition to somewhere on January 1.
That
Again,
is a drop dead date.
well, and it's my assumption that
Drop dead date.
the transition committee / y'all are coming up with that solution, that entity, that whatever, that's gonna be the tenants association, whatever will be and that will, and y'all are comfortable and confident that that'll all be done by January 1.
We should be going by then.
We're leaving town.
We may be sending a message that we're anxious to get this over with. Your reading is quiet. Michael, finance report.
So the finance report, continuing on what we said last month, we do have enough cash in the bank to be getting by at the moment. We did get our payment from the county. It was about $7,000 since the last board meeting. There obviously is a bill that's gone out to the numbers. There is some requests for detail that's come back from Vicki and Pam for some of the bills. Glad to get that out to you. As a general comment, the process of getting that out to you is going to cost time and effort from from Worley and or Heather to get all that detail gathered. So glad to do it, but that is going to increase the bill for the month of October.
Is there a general ledger from the accounting system that could be printed out? That would be a place to start, that could be done with a couple of keystrokes.
But my answer is there a general ledger? I'm sure there's a general ledger, and can that be printed out, but can we get it to you? No, but I'm happy to give that to you.
I mean, that would be a quick place to start, so we can move through this.
I mean, what accounting system do you use?
I don't know the name of our accounting system.
I think that,
Peachtree.
It was Peachtree.
Peachtree.
Yeah.
so, I mean, there should be a file of bills that were paid and a general ledger that corresponds to them that would give us the place to start in answering some of those questions.
Michael and I had a quick conversation before this meeting, and there are some things that I think are probably handled better in a conversation. I mean, there were some decisions made about how to handle some particular items, like the Terminex bill. The $600 is the annual amount. But there's a reason why they billed it all at one time, rather than only billing it for the months of July and August. So it seemed like there needs to be a conversation either between Michael and Charlie, or Charlie and Heather and the partners, or Lindsay, to just say, well, this is why we did it this way. And,
Well, and I think that's part of the contract discussion. I mean, if Terminex
right,
is going to require the partners to pay annually when it's transferred to the name of the LLC,
Right.
then we don't want to pay annually now. Right, so, I mean, I think Lynn's right, just talking about it is.
Yeah, you certainly don't.
yeah, there just needs to, I mean, it was
Yeah,
obvious
we
when
can
I
just get a
saw
lot
the
of those
list, that there were
questions
there were
answered.
things that were done a certain way when Pat Place was overseeing everything, and now it's being divided up between 3 different partners, and it's being looked at on a monthly basis. It's just a different process, but I think that they need to be explained between the people who are handing it over.
And some of it is just simply because, you know, we thought we had been given the money to operate for a year, and we operated, you know, so we paid the annual bill, but there was
Right,
this, you
right,
know.
right.
And we didn't know at the time that the county was gonna change the funding.
Right.
Or the whole deal.
Right, but when the bill came, it just had it had a number, there's no explanation. So I think it's a matter of just everybody understanding what exactly is in that invoice, and obviously, and seeing the contracts.
And the intent from Pat Place's standpoint was to keep the building operating and keep things rolling along. And yeah, you don't want to double pay the Terminex bill, but we don't want Terminex coverage to expire either. So we wanted to pay those as they came in. And some of the questions, so the control specialties of Asheville quarterly field service of $1,497. Which quarter, for what work, we can obviously get that information, but if the bill came in on July 20th for something that happened on June 29th, that's just the normal operations of how Pat Place has run for 20 years. And as with any business, there's, when you go from June 30th to July 1st, it's not going to be, the accounting's not going to be down to the penny. There's going to be some rounding errors, there's going to be some just processes that need to kind of carry on for the building to continue to operate. So I hope everyone understands that Pat Place is not trying to put money in its checking account in this process. And I don't think anyone's accusing us of that, but it's not our intent to do anything like that. We're just trying to keep things going.
I think, Michael, it's also just a budget issue, speaking just for the Colburn, that we have a lot of kind of amorphous expenses, and we have this bill from Pac Place for 2 months, and just trying to figure out what it's going to be for September and October, how that relates to the county funding, if we're going to have to come up with more money than we're getting from the county. And so just having some of those questions answered, seeing the contracts, being able to talk to Terminex and say, hey, we're paying a year, we're transferring it over, are you going to be able to just move these funds? So I think it's just questions.
And again, absolutely delighted to get the information, Phil. One of the questions is, as we talk about transition committee, and we're talking about hard to get everyone together, so do we have Terminex call you, or John, or Pam? And if you have a conversation with
They can talk
Terminex.
with all of us.
If you have a conversation with Terminex and say, yes, we're gonna do something, and then Pam doesn't like it, then there needs to be a point person that has the authority to say yes or no for all.
And we're hoping that there'll be a decision about that this coming,
That's all.
before that.
That's-
Yeah,
Jim?
But I think we can also, if we have a list of contracts and a list of bills to review, we can divvy up who makes those phone calls to just make sure.
right. And information is basically what we need at this point, so we start making those decisions.
All fair, we'll get on it. The one, I already made a comment about the telephone, that, Pac Place has been covering what I call the backbone of the system under Pac Place's, budget for a while. And that's, obviously, Pac Place isn't covering that backbone anymore, so that's being asked of the tenants too. And then I think everything else will get to the, we'll get to the information, but, so something like, so actually point number 7, the repairs. Repairs being divided by percentage if they're for a specific partner.
I say that's up to the partners if they want to. put it
Yeah,
there.
if y'all want to compensate each other for that, y'all can, but in fact, places, we're still, the building manager's trying to run the building, and if we're replacing 25 light bulbs and 12 of them are in one and 18 in the other one, and the third one doesn't have any light bulbs, that's gonna, who pays for that?
You mean I haven't needed to buy my own light bulbs all this time? I'm sending you a bill.
It's hard for us to determine, is something's in the atrium here, is that common property that everyone uses during the day, or is that exclusively art museum property that's only art museum expenses? If you're patching and concrete in the atrium, that's been done, just so that's an example.
All we care about is the bottom line company, and so however y'all want to do it. Johnny said, send them an invoice broken out this way, so that's what we did. But I think within that, you can tinker with it and say, well, it really was more of a Coleman expense than an art museum expense, and jiggle it around together, as long as the projection and total are the same thing that you think you're gonna do. Anything else for Michael? Is there any new business? Our next meeting is in November, and if the transition committee stays on task, at that point, everything will be different. So we can talk then about some of these going forward issues, I think, maybe. Because that's in my mind, unless somebody wants to talk about them now. Restructuring Pac Place, suing the city, those issues that we still have to get to. Everybody satisfied waiting? Okay. I've got member reports. Y'all want to give some reports?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to hear them. Please.
Well, I was in a group today with the president of the Federal Reserve Board in Richmond, and the stock market went up 274 points. That's a wonderful report. I like that report.
You need to meet with him more often.
Anytime he's in town, I'd be happy to. Just to give a couple of things, just kind of the litany of things going on. We've had the Asheville Piano Forum, served them. This is a great group of piano teachers who get together once a year for a concert to raise money for scholarships for students to be able to take piano. So it's a wonderful time to see all the incredible talent here. Lyric opera, I will not forget them this time, even though David's not here. Just completed a run of Deflator Mouse at the Pisco Legal Services. Tomorrow night we have a sold-out performance of Paul Poundstone. It's been sold out since the first day of sale. Our first Sing Together is on Friday next week. The Paul Taylor Dance Company, 2 performances. And a sold-out school show on Friday. Then Eleanor Gonzalez is bringing in the Alea Dance Company, an Afro-Cuban dance company from the West Coast. And then the next night he presents his annual Miss Gay Latina Festival. Then another promoter is bringing in Matuda, who I love this is described as Appalachian, gone Afro-Brazilian. Lightning Thief, 2 sold-out school shows. Slapstick Sonata, a European circus company, will be coming in November. Warehouse Theater, a sold-out school show. Red June, this is always fun. This is a local group who performs at ISIS and whatever. And we think this is a small town and everybody knows it. We bring them in our stage, and we have already sold more tickets than they do locally because people don't know they're local. We didn't, tell them. Land of Sky Chorus, Carol Mackay and Peter Cater, Land of Sky Symphonic Band, and then on Thanksgiving weekend, we're doing something on Friday and Saturday, we're doing productions of the Christmas Carol. And we have just added a new performance, if you know the actor Jeff Daniels, from the Newsroom, etc. So Saturday, January 24th, he and his son, the Ben Daniels Band, will be coming. He was here January of 2010, I believe, and he's just fantastic. So this will be coming on the heels of the third season of Newsroom, plus the release of the sequel, Dumb and Dumber 2, with 2 spelled T-O. So that's what's coming up. And more,
Vicki?
Well, we're just kind of hanging out.
Sneaking in and watching rehearsals.
Sneaking in, watching rehearsals. School groups are scheduling field trips. I mean, it's been in the building. We've been pretty busy, crazy busy with school groups for October. October's booked, November's booked. We're looking at a really busy season of school groups. We have a special event Thursday night at the Boathouse on Riverside Drive. Mark Rosenstein is doing something with the salmon and fire and salt and the science of cooking. So it sounds way more technical than I usually get in the kitchen, but might be interesting. For people who cook, it will certainly be interesting for people who eat. There'll be a lot of good food. So I hope a lot of things can make it. We have a program on the 24th on El Nino. So if any of you are thinking about winter, this would be a good program. We were actually contacted by NOAA and the American Meteorological Society, who said, it's going to be an El Nino year. We'd like to do a program for you. So I started looking at trips for the winter. And that's on the 24th.
In the paper today, they said it's going to be 10 degrees, not in the Asheville paper, in the New York Times. It's supposed to be warmer this winter, by 10 degrees.
Well, I don't know. You can come see the scientists tell you, because I don't know.
It's just a teaser right there.
Yeah. It could be warmer. It could be cold. It could be warmer. One thing we do know is that the models that we've used in the past are not as good as they have been for predicting weather, because climate change is making a difference in the way that things happen. And then finally, we are planning on being out of the building no later than June 7th. That is what's written into our lease with the city. That's our drop dead date. We have not made an announcement yet about where we're moving, but we are in negotiations, and we hope that we'll have an announcement soon. We're very excited about what's going on. And then, since all of you are going to have a lot of time on your hands, not much to do, we are looking for volunteers, people with trucks. You want to, move a few tons of rocks for us. But seriously, we're very excited about what's happening. This is working out for us, but we are sad to be leaving Pack Place. And we hope that we will see you all in our new location.
That's really exciting.
It is exciting.
Congratulations.
It is exciting. And I think that's all.
Good. Pam?
We have a whole new fall roster of exhibitions that have recently opened. The artist Mary Frank has a retrospective exhibition in the Appleby Gallery, which is really fabulous. You should for sure see it. She's an 85-year-old, really dynamic artist who works across media throughout her career, but with a really consistent and powerful vision. We have an exhibition from the collection in Gallery 6 that looks at objects that are not two-dimensional, but not three either. They're kind of off the wall in a variety of media. We have, I think I showed you all the Saul Lewitt wall drawing and the Sharon Lavin installation. The Cherokee exhibition that's up in Holman is really delightful as well. So Things will start changing again for us exhibition-wise in November. We too have been slammed with tours of visitors of all ages from all over the country, which has been great, in addition to the slew groups who have hit the ground running this fall and are here often. And have a full roster of exhibitions and public programs, and actually this weekend Sharon Loudon is going to be in town talking about her installation of Community, but also doing a book signing on a book that she's edited that's really delightful. It's called How to Live a Creative Life, and it's got essays by 40 artists about how they managed to do that in this world of ours today. It's really, really interesting and uplifting.
I just want to add one thing, when you said school groups. The last week in October, the Art Museum in Nicole had 88 kids every day coming to do joint programs. It's going to be insane. So you can all volunteer for that if you want. It's very invigorating. But we don't have a lot of that cross-programming, so we're very excited about that whole week of programming.
Vicki and Seth, I have a complete set of Joe Nicholson's Colburn exhibit design drawings. I don't know whether you do.
No.
But you probably would be able to have them in order to take the exhibits apart. I think they were designed to come out in panels, so that they could be moved.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. I found a portion of the set, but not a complete
You've got a
set.
complete set, and I also
Yeah.
talked to Joe a couple of days ago, because he's coming down here to do a project in Raleigh. And he'd be happy to talk to you if you needed questions or anything about
Well, I'll touch base with you.
demolition.
Yeah, okay.
Anything else from anybody? Good, well, thank you. We'll see you again on November the 12th. With all issues resolved.
My kids are in Boy Scout troop. So I mean, every kid has their own background.